Welcome back to G.P.H podcast, where we dive deep into topics of our everyday lives. I am your host, as always, Manny. Some of you know me as JR. For my social media followers, J underscore added. And today we have a first time guest. I'm honored to have her here. I have a special introduction for her. So today I'm honored to have someone truly exceptional joining me. She's the kind of person who lights up a room when she walks into it, not just with her presence, but with her energy and her poise. She has a sharp mind that cuts through any other noise and a natural charm that makes you feel like you've known her forever. But what makes her remarkable isn't just how effortlessly she navigates the world, it's the depth that she brings to every conversation, every interaction. She's someone who challenges perspectives, inspires growth, and does it all with a grace that's hard to put into words. I'm excited for you to get to know her as we dive into today's discussion. But trust me, she's someone who leaves a lasting impression. Let's welcome Jesenia to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for joining, Jesse.
Thank you for that introduction. I can hear it over and over.
So today's topic, guys, is emotional intelligence, not bringing BS to the table. And I chose Jessie because I've known her for a long time. And she's someone that, from when I met her, she's always challenged how I said perspectives. So she's a person that she moved a certain way, and I'm like, why are you like that? You get me?
Yeah.
But then, yeah, now that I'm older and
Yeah,
I get
now
to
you
view
get
life
it.
differently,
Now you get
a
it.
little some. I see it. So today we're tackling a topic everyone thinks they've mastered: emotional intelligence. Spoiler alert: most of us are still bringing plenty of BS to the table, right? So we're gonna go right into it. And Jesse, I want to ask you, what does emotional intelligence mean to you?
So emotional intelligence, what it means to me, I don't like to use the word intelligence. It makes it seem like it's a complicated, far-reaching thing. Kind of like, you're smart if you have that college degree and pass all those tests. So I don't like to make it so complicated. I just like to keep it like emotional control.
Yeah.
And to me, that's really just blocking all those outside forces and keeping myself grounded. I want to go, I don't want to feel this way. I'm not going to let them make me feel this way. I want to carry myself a certain way. So I got to protect myself on the inside, on the outside.
And it's
I got to control it. And it's hard. It's an internal war that you're having with yourself. And you got to recognize it when it's happening and you got to bring yourself back.
I like that.
That's what it means to me.
You just sparked something. Jay Andy and I talk about it a lot. I heard it first from Nipsey, whereas I'd rather be at peace with myself and at war with the world than at
100%.
war with the world. And like at peace with the world and at war with myself kind of thing.
Yeah, never. Not me. I can't live in that.
Yeah. And
No.
it's about like people, places, and things. I've gotten to learn as of recently that like I have to put these boundaries, and it's for
I love
myself.
those.
Yeah, it's for
those.
myself. So I have a little like highlight that's like, you can know how to solve for X, right? Like in
Yeah.
algebra or math or whatever. But if you can't handle your X, you've got bigger problems. And I think it's something relevant nowadays. Like
100%.
people want to think they're all smart and they're all this, but they get trapped in these cycles. And it's the lack of
Yeah.
emotional intelligence, So, okay, let's go to the next question. Can you share a time when being emotionally intelligent saved you from saying or doing something you'd regret? It don't have to be too far ago. It could be something recent.
Oh my gosh, there's so many times where now I have a son who's 5. Me and his father do not get along at all. And I'm constantly at war, like I said, with the outside forces. His dad just wants to rock my boat constantly. But now I have an audience. I have my son. I have somebody who 100% depends on me. I affect him. I will be affecting him more in this time, in these first 5 years then. And that will last for a lifetime. We're creating memories that he'll carry throughout his life.
Yeah.
So for me, I have to be completely 100% aware and present, and I have to constantly prepare myself for interactions with this man because I know what he's gonna try to do, and I know my son is watching. I know my son is listening. He's an earshot away, and I know the person I want to be. I want to be a good mom. I want to be a good example. I want my son to know mommy tried. I'm constantly at war. I'm constantly controlling myself. Jesse, bite your tongue. Hold it together. keep that poker face, do it for Juju, do it for Juju. And I got to talk to myself. I got to take those deep breaths during those interactions.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's certain people that we have to interact with.
Yeah.
And even for some people that can relate, maybe like at work, there's some people you got to interact with. You got to like bite your tongue sometimes.
Some people just suck.
And
but we're holding it together over here.
Absolutely. And I think emotional intelligence is about being the bigger person at times, you know?
Yeah, you could say that. That's a good way to explain it.
For me, as of lately, like my audience knows, I just made 1 year being home from prison, guys, 2 days ago. So, and one of my biggest battles was when I came home was I was so fast to fight somebody. Like, it was like, what? Like, who you talking to kind of thing. And that's my emotional pillar, right? And once I stepped away and I saw myself, right? So I stepped outside the box to look at myself inside the box. I'm like, what am I doing? You know,
exactly.
Is it worth it? Is it
Never.
worth me disturbing my peace, my time?
Never.
Because then later on, and I'm very like a forgiving person. Like I'm very like, I forget about stuff, forgive and forget. And I'm like, if I'm going to be okay later already, like forget what this person is feeling right now.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
Don't waste the energy.
So research shows that women's EQ tends to develop faster, right? Mm-hmm. So
the girls win again.
Something like that. What do you think about that? What do you think contributes to maybe because a lot of people say that, oh, girls mature faster than guys.
We're aware. We're put on this earth to multiply, to nurture. So we're highly aware of what's going on. That's just from the get. You know, and then things happen throughout life, but, you know, some people go this way, some people go that way. But I do think that might be, you know, it's nature. That's what God put us here for.
So you think it's like you guys were just wired that way?
Yeah, definitely. Mom's always looking out for you. Grandma's always looking out for you. Your sisters, your girl cousins.
I think that it's funny, but when a male finally does develop that emotional intelligence, and like we're grown, you know, try to learn early, man. I'm just saying.
Like, yeah.
And we're grown.
Take a minute.
I think that then is like a balance. Then that's finally when like a man can lead in whatever he's in, whatever environment, you know. You guys are natural born leaders, like off rip.
Yeah.
But then comes our turn, our time comes, and I guess I like to say that I was raised by women, right?
Yeah,
I think
You're
they taught me that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, because it's tiring. It's tiring biting your tongue. It's tiring trying to control this human experience and all these emotions that we have. And it's not something that it's always just like on. Again, we're human. Sometimes your guard is down and you don't want to think so much. So it's nice when you're surrounded by people that are also I don't want to say on their P's and Q's, but are also aware of how, you know, their energy and what it does to you. You know, like, oh, Jess is having a bad day. Let me chill. I don't want to affect this, mess up this aura, this vibe, you know?
But people are like so thinking about them and like.
That's what it is. A lot of people, they just got this tunnel vision. But you need to be aware. There's other people here. We're all on this earth together right now.
But find a balance. Because there's nobody more important than you kind of thing.
No, of course. But I'm just saying you don't need to move in a room with all this anger, all this negativity. Check yourself. You know, you don't want to move around like that. Why are you bringing that outside? Go. You don't got to be at every party. You don't got to dance to every song. If you're not good today, go do what you got to do to be good.
Absolutely.
Take care of yourself first, and you could come around with other people.
So let's dive into a little bit like about relationships, right?
Hey.
And just like overall relationships, any kind of relationship. Have you ever been in a situation where your EQ outpaced someone else's, and how did you handle that? Like, where you knew you're in this situation and you're like, yo, I know I'm right, but I'm like, you gotta like step back and like let time tell, you know?
I'm gonna sound really bratty, but there's a lot of times where I'm just like, you're not even on my level right now. Like, you're not even here. I don't even know why I'm here. But then I don't even care about that person. I don't put my energy in that person. I start thinking about myself. Why am I here? Why
how do you handle that?
I just shut it off. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. Block them, hang up. And I know there's a lot of people that don't agree with blocking, but I love boundaries. If you're not on my same wavelength, and it's not that I don't have patience and understanding, because I do. I'm just speaking, you know, there's always details and situations.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if we're not vibing, there's no reason for me to waste the time I have on this earth with you. We're just not clicking. There's somebody out there that'll speak to you in a way that you understand better than I do. I respect that. So let's keep it moving.
Yeah, yeah. And I know this is like 2016, 2017. I caught you reading this book.
Yeah.
Right? What is it? How to unfuck yourself? How
Yeah,
is it?
it's like this one is the not subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Or that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so you read that one.
Yeah.
Can you tell the audience a little bit about that?
Well, the book kind of you have to read it.
Just a little bit.
It's been a minute, but again, it's kind of like just checking yourself and just realizing that there's a lot going on. You just gotta let it go. We can't control everything. Let it go. Just be self-centered.
Like start fresh.
Just self-centered, and it's not negative. It's just, what do you need for you? Nurture yourself. Block it out.
How important is that?
100% for me. When you have goals, or you wanna get somewhere, I realized at an early age, like a lot of people are, oh, why are you sitting by yourself at lunch? I just didn't care. I don't care. The conversations you're having are not feeding me, feeding my brain. You're not triggering my curiosity, or you're not telling me something new. So I will go sit with myself. I want to be by myself. I want to talk. I want to be grounded. How I feel. What's going on? What do I want to do?
That's what I thought. Like you were like, I'm like, what's
That's
wrong
when you
with
thought I
this
was
girl?
crazy because I was 14, eating my French fries by myself. I didn't care what they were doing, and they always wanted to fight. And I'm up for whatever, I'm Dominican, Puerto Rican. I want to bring it. We could take it there, but my point is that I just felt like we weren't on the same page, and I have no problem. I never cared. I wasn't like, oh, I gotta be with all these people. I gotta move in numbers.
But it's humbly too. Like
Always
it's
humble.
never. That's what I always respect about you. Like
always.
You can take it. Like if somebody disrespects, you can take it there. But for the most part, you try to gracefully, slide it off.
Yeah, always.
And it's about I think it's when you have a higher, and you're okay. So we run on frequencies. There's people that's high frequency, low frequency.
Okay.
And I think the emotionally intelligent people are running on a higher frequency. And if people come to you, you feel it. You feel when somebody comes and they're draining.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I trust myself. I trust myself. I trust myself.
Okay.
I trust what I feel. If you're bringing me a bad vibe, I don't know about this person, though, I'm going to move the other way. I don't care. I'm not going to stick around because everybody's sticking around you.
Yeah.
If you're making me feel some type of way, I'm grounded. I'm right here. I'm in tune with me.
Yeah.
And I want to go the other way. And if I got to go the other way by myself, that's where I'm going, because how I feel is important.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell the audience a little bit something, a little spoiler. Soon you're going to be getting your bachelor's, right?
Yes.
I know you've been working hard for that.
Yes.
And I have something for you, right? Listen to this. So you can ace the SATs, but if you can't keep a friend group, it's going to be lonely at the top.
But I like to be lonely.
Oh,
I like it there.
I like it.
I don't need a distraction. I'm already at the top.
That's why I think everything is a balance, though. Right? Because it's not about, you don't keep a friends group because you want to socialize or things like that. I think the people that you keep in a friends group are people that are sharpening you and elevating you to the next level. You don't always want to be the one at the top in every room that you walk into.
No, yeah. I get what you're saying. What you mean there, yes. Like I was saying before, yeah, you want to be with people that have what you want, that are going to tell you something you haven't heard. It might be something you disagree with, but that to me, that's worth my time.
Yeah.
That's a room that I want to be in.
Absolutely. And so how do you think this imbalance shows up in things like education, work, or even parenting?
What do you mean this imbalance?
Like where we emphasize, oh, you need a book, you need to learn something, you need to do this, where I think it's more important to teach people how to be emotionally intelligent, know when to step away from something. I think you're very big on that. So
yeah.
In these situations like education or work or parenting, can you explain where you might see the imbalance and we might give importance to one rather than the other?
Oh, okay, yeah, because I got a lot of parents oh, do your homework, you got to be smart, get the good grades.
Yeah. But how important is it to speak to your child about something
So for me with Juju, yeah, I want him to be smart. I want him to be intelligent.
You want to excel academically.
Yeah, but for me as a parent, I'm not the teacher. When he's in school, I taught my son, you got to pay attention. I kind of raised him, I guess it came natural with the awareness part. And I get that from every teacher. Obviously, they don't know what I'm doing at home, but they're like, your son is very aware. Your son is already operating on a higher level.
Yeah.
And I think I just explain things to him. I sit him down and explain to him everything. This is why it is. This is why mommy's feeling this way. You know, and this is why you might be feeling this way. So when you feel this way, what are you going to do about it? Take a deep breath. Why don't you walk away? It's not that important. What's important? School. Learning something new. Being always hungry for education, for something new. That's what I teach him at home. And I see that it's working. But I'm not heavy on obviously I want him to do his homework, but I'm not a drill sergeant. Do your homework, that's it. And then I ignore my son. I'm always having conversations with him. Yeah. To me, that's the most important part. He's a human, he's a person, he's operating right now.
So you emphasize more like those how do I say?
I'm kind of practicing just like, skills, tell me what you're feeling. How's it going? How are you getting through what you're feeling? Obviously not on that level, but speaking to a 5-year-old. And I think that just naturally, it's just bringing out the emotional awareness. He's in tune with, he'll tell you, I'm upset. What you're doing is making me upset. He'll tell you that.
And that's important.
He's 5 years old. That thing that you did, the way that you said that made me upset. And that's why I walked away from you. That's why I just need time right now. He will tell you that.
Well, that's good because I know me growing up, I didn't know how to express certain things. And I was very much like a yes person. Yeah, it is.
Because your parents shut you down, then you turn into it's either a yes or a no, and then they shut you down. I don't do that. I give him the freedom to talk. I give him the freedom to disagree. And that's all the emotional. He's dealing with his emotions. He disagrees. He's upset. Maybe he's confused. Let's deal with that. Let's talk about that.
But a call to action for the audience, like there comes a certain level in your life where you should be aware of these things. And I think I had a lot of time to sit and think while I was in jail. And while I was in jail, I used to be like, yo, I say yes to everything. So if I stand for something or fall for everything, right? So I was a person pleaser,
Yeah, people pleaser.
And I hated
that.
Yeah, and I learned that tight. I had to stand firm in my decisions. And even now, so my grandfather died. And there's a lot of things going on in my house. And you already know Manny this, Manny that. And I love my family. I love them to death. But like there's boundaries that you got to set for everything.
Yeah.
And it's not that, my aunt told me, she's like, oh, like you're the man of the house now, And it's funny because like, quote unquote, I was doing a lot before he did. You get me?
You OG was just that there. Title.
But may he rest in peace. Mm-hmm. Now I understand what it is though for everyone to come to you. And I learned to not let that pressure break me, but for it to make me, and it's how I deal with it emotionally. Like I can't just go up to them like, yo, stop telling me, I understand. We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna address it like this.
Yeah, that's a big role to play too when you're right, the man of the house, and there's all women, and there's a big family event. You got a lot of people leaning on you.
Yeah.
And, that is a big role, and and then that's what I'm saying. You need that time to check yourself because you're dealing with a lot of emotions too. That was still your grandfather.
Yeah.
But you know that they need you.
Yeah. And it's funny, how is it? Pressure either breaks pipes or pressure turns a coal into diamond. You get what I'm saying?
Makes diamond.
So, you be focused. So, let's talk about a little bit like on the career side.
Okay.
Right? How emotional intelligence gets you sometimes into the right doors. Right? You've been very successful, I would say. You was working in a corporate in New York at one point, right? And I know like being in that office with all those different people, all these different personalities, but you always stood out, and you excelled. Like, can you explain a little bit of how your emotional intelligence helped you in your career and not even that specific job, but maybe in other areas?
Well, I will say my emotional control. I will say I was just always just motivated. And it was just, I didn't care. I knew what I wanted. I knew, and I trusted myself. I knew if I want to get there, what are the little steps I have to take to get there? And I was just so focused on that. And that motivated me. I wanted to get better. Oh, you can't do it. yes, I can, and I'm gonna show you.
Yeah.
And I just think that, like, I think having, just being aware and not letting other people control you, it kind of gives you a confidence. It kind of gives you the strength. And from that strength, you get that confidence to take that step forward, even if people believe in you or not. And then I was 18, folding clothes. And I went from folding clothes to working in a, New York, Times Square, an indie skincare company, but they were sold in Ulta and Sephora. And it's not a customer to customer business. It was like a business to business. So I'm selling to Ulta. Ulta was my client.
Yeah.
Not Betty Lou Who. So it was a big difference. And I was proud of myself because I got myself there. I was proud of myself because those days I decided to separate myself. Those days I decided to walk alone. That's what got me there.
And you always wanted that job in the city.
I always wanted that. I just wanted to, that's what I thought I wanted at the time. That was good for me at the time, the corporate job. And I moved in that job. I stayed in that job 5 years. I got the new car, 0 miles in my name. We was riding in that. We was riding in it. But I got to do that. And then, life switches. Looking back, it's fun to be there. And again, I got hit by a wave. Now I have a son. Now all that stability that although that hill that I finally got to the top, I'm looking back and I'm looking up. Now I'm at the bottom again.
Yeah.
So it's not this emotional control again. Like I was trying to say earlier, I don't know if I explained it clearly. It's not something that you're always gonna master, right? Because now I feel like, again, I got hit by a wave. I had a kid. It wasn't planned. A blessing nonetheless. But
Amen.
I'm walking through it. I'm trying to. All that time that I had to, walk by myself, I turn around. I got a little guy with me. And all the time that I had to read before, I opened the book and my son's jumping on me now. I can't focus. Now it's harder for me to talk to myself. It's harder for me to zone in. So that's something I'm still trying to gain control of. I'm still trying to balance. And it's
what things do you do to try and gain control of that?
So I thought at first, I thought I had to separate myself. Like, okay, well, I need time to read. I need to read this. I need to figure this out. Julius, go over there. And that wasn't working. Right now my son is like, well, I'm alone. But I just started to bring him with me or having those conversations with him. Mommy wants this. What do you think mommy should do? Or if I wanted to go run because I'm feeling anxious, get on your bike, come run with me. And we started doing that this summer. I'm running laps and my son's riding his bike behind me. Or mommy, come on, go faster,
go faster. There's no excuses, yeah.
There's no excuses. I had to bring him a part of that because I gotta get it together. He's depending on me. And it's been 4 years. I'm not happy where I'm at, but I'm happy where me and my son are at.
But from where you were to where you at now, what do you feel?
I'm happy as a person.
Okay.
As a person, I'm happy. I have goals now that are way, way different from back then. But I just got to figure out how to get there with my son and with the distractions and with the baggage that comes with raising a child with somebody who wants to knock you down or trip you every time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get there again. I'm still Jessie. I'm still that girl. I still got that motivation, that
still
fire.
Got that fire.
Me. Just I got to move a little different. I got a little guy.
And I respect that. I think we can all relate to there's certain relationships that we have. I don't have any children, but I know like I said, my family's very dependent on me. And sometimes they're the responsibility, right, that I have. And they're also sometimes the people that try to trip you down. You get what I'm saying? And it's about putting those boundaries with all of them. 100%. For sure.
Yeah, I'm a fan of boundaries.
So, yeah. So these are like some tactics that I would say people could use in order to develop their IQ, right? So practice active listening, right?
Okay.
Manage stress before reacting and learn to emphasize, right? What's one simple IQ habit someone can start with today? What do you think?
I think before...
Excuse me, EQ.
I think before anybody worries about listening to anybody else, I think they gotta listen. They gotta sit with themselves. Just that alone time. Don't be scared to be alone. Don't be scared to move alone.
You're big on the alone time.
Yeah, you have to. You gotta deal with. You gotta look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day. You gotta have that conversation with yourself. And a lot of people, they want to be in that crowd, but that's not you, baby girl. When you go home, you lay down. You're the same person.
And what's that conversation you have by yourself?
What do you want to be when you walk outside or when you leave a room and people mention your name? What do you want to come to mind? What do you want that conversation to go like when you're not there? When it's just your name to defend yourself. I'm big.
That's tough.
Crazy self-respect. So when people say Jesenia in my job, I know for a fact somebody's like, oh yeah, she works good. She's great, dependable, hardworking, hustler. What about Jesenia?
Yeah.
On time.
Yeah. What's a common EQ mistake people make, and how can they avoid it? I got one.
What's yours?
When people react based off their emotion, like me, like it's so funny. There's people's and it's vice versa now. So people in the street didn't used to get me mad before, but now like somebody says something and it's, yo, who you talking to?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, you're a human, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't want people to think that they have to be like this robot. You're a human. You're gonna react. Your emotions are there, and I don't know why society wants people to ignore it, men to ignore it. Oh, don't cry. That's not a thing.
It's tough.
Your emotions are there.
I don't knock off crying. Gotta let it out. But I think you shouldn't be how do I say? Okay, you should be emotionally in tune. I'm not saying to not be emotionally in tune.
I wouldn't call it. It's just because I don't want to put that negative cloud over reacting, right? Over being human. Now it's negative. Now you're busting people's face in.
Yeah.
But for you to react, forgive yourself. You're a person first.
Yeah.
I think the mistake though is putting yourself in that place. Why were you there? Why are you around people that are gonna bring that out of you? Shut it down.
That's good.
Shut it down.
That's really good.
That's the mistake. But being a human and reacting, forgive yourself. You're okay.
Absolutely.
The human experience, baby.
And I got this one. Listen to what I wrote. I put, remember, you don't need a PhD in emotions, but if you're still ghosting people, we got some work to do. And I think it's about stop getting caught in your feelings. Estamos en crecimiento, no sentimiento.
That's what I'm saying. But you can ghost people.
It's who you ghosting and why you're ghosting them, though.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Situation by situation.
I don't think it's bad to ghost. No. If you need to block somebody out of your life, that's the obstacle.
Do it.
That's what I'm saying, yo. I didn't understand that with her. She's like, nah, I don't want.
Stop it.
I'm like, why you not talking to that person? Nah, I don't want to talk.
Focus, baby.
And now I see it where like it's how do I say? There's certain things I'm not compromising.
Exactly.
At all, whatsoever.
Exactly.
There's no.
And I don't get my time back.
But then.
So don't waste it.
That's tough. And I think it's about making sure that the people that you do have around you is quality.
Yeah. Quality. 100%. And even if it's that one person, you don't got to move in groups. You don't got to have 10 people. That one person's bringing you, giving you what you need. The baggage is lighter. It's not as heavy. That's good. Keep going.
Absolutely.
Go together.
Absolutely. And with that, guys, we're going to wrap up this episode. I'm so glad that you came on here. Told you it wasn't that bad. And guys, call to action. Please leave a comment. What do you guys think emotional intelligence is? What does it mean to you? Leave me a comment. And give us feedback about our conversation today. I really like where we took the conversation. I know I picked you for the right topic. Right? So let's not bring BS to the table. Right? Let's be 100%. Emotionally intelligent and let's work on ourselves, right?
Yes, and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the mistakes and just sit with yourself. Don't forget that. Sit with yourself. So, guys, remember you was here for a reason, not for a season. Subscribe. Love that.
G.P.H podcast on all platforms, Instagram. We're everywhere. Jesse, you want to tell them where they can find you?
You guys can add me on Instagram, Jesse, I'm a badass. I know. The confidence, baby.
I like it. So, guys, stay blessed by the best, and you guys have a great